He saw somebody naked today, so now he's panicking. All right, buddy. Say hi to everybody. Go. Oh, I'm a dog. I'm a dog. He's tired. He's a dog. I need to turn this heater up for you, huh? A little chilly on this side of the room. Keep looking at my dog. Give me a second here, guys. Mr. Grass and Kitska Bush. How you doing, Mr. Bushy Bush? I gotta adjust where I'm sitting anyways. Don't fall over. That's my only gun stand. Screw build wall. Hold on. Beep, beep, beep. Stay there. Why is your plaque backwards? Because it's fake. Oh, jeez, I'm crow, mister.
Those of you that don't know, I am now the Jimmini Show.
Rocky is not amused right now. Grayson, what's up, bud? Incognito, Boods, what's up, man? I don't know why I call you Boods. It just makes more sense. So, yeah, we got a few pew-pews on the wall today. And they're all held up with screws because I fucked up. I got some pegboard and didn't realize I left all of my freaking peg stuff. All my stuff for pegging. I left it all at the old place, so. But hey, at least there's guns up there now. So you guys can shut the fuck up about me not having any guns up there. Yeah. I meant to put all optic stuff on that side and all 1911s on that side, but honestly, I fucking gave up halfway through. Rashad, what's up? Raymond, what is going on? Not much is going on. Thank you for the compliment on the wall. Appreciate that. So, slowly getting them. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that didn't make it on the wall. So for the next live stream, I've got some pegboard. I'm going to actually paint it black like my old pegboard was, and then we'll put it all up. Are those guns loaded? 1 or 2 of them may be loaded, but unless you break into my homestead, you'll never know.
Little.
You okay, buddy? Rocky's being a downer those today.
He's being a downy mounty.
Okay, there we go. Moving things around without dropping them is difficult when you're me. Look, there's a revolver. Air Max, what is up, good sir? Sitting with my lappy toppy on my lappy toppy. King Kong. Come on in, say hi, sit down, have some fun. We're going to just do a couple hours here tonight. See what's going on. Somebody already got blocked. That's awesome.
Hi.
We had a long play session with his tug toy today, so he's a little tired. You okay, buddy? Here, now you got a blanket. Aw, aren't you cute? Now you got a blanket over you. Look, he's Mother Teresa. You ever met a dog that chill? I got you. Security man has a 38 special rose, something like that. What? Hey, what's going on?
Doggo.
All right, buddy. You just relax, okay? When we go around doing stuff all day, he gets a little tired. I guess I can pan through every now and then. So the full, the M17 keeps on getting weirder and weirder. I've been playing this game too much. I've been playing this game called Life. It's not like it is on the board games. Also, I got to find a better place to sit because, yeah, right now, like my Chris Finks is getting blocked by my head hole. But yeah, tell me what your favorite gun on the wall is tonight. Nice to see the wall. Thank you, brother. Also, I discovered that the Rock Island does, in fact, take checkmates. Is that a 320 with the red mag plate? Yeah, here, I'll take the phone off the stand and give you guys a quick wall tour. The blue CZ with the blue grip is hard to beat. It's actually just a CZ75. So on the bottom here, we've got the Gerson Regard Beretta clone, but it's the Gen 4 Sport. You've seen that. You got the Sig Sauer 1911X in stainless. You got my Para Ordnance Black Ops 1911. My daily carry. It's a Ruger GP100 hammered in 357 Magnum. That is the Rock Island Tactical FS Tact. That Jimenez is pretty nice. No Jimenez up there today, brother. So that is the Rock Island FS Tact. That is a CZ SP01. I actually traded off one of my other SP01s for something else. That one is the Remington R1 Recon. It's a para ordnance gun, but after Remington got them, obviously you got the Gerson Match X, my fake play button, my 1022 in the Sharps Brothers chassis, my HK MR556 on my PSA Virginia lower, Daria Arms DY9, the Glock 19 size one, the Fusion Firearms XP Pro, my SIG M17, and yeah, I found some red magwell, so I put it on there. I need to find a red trigger for it. The one above that is the Rock Island Armory 5.0E. That is my Springfield Echelon. You like how I used gold screws? It just makes it even better. But Springfield Echelon, TSOS PX9 Duty Comp, and then the Chris Sphinx. So there you go. That is the wall tonight. Did I fix the Fusion slide not sliding properly? No, it needs more material taken out of it, and I don't feel like doing it. I miss looking at the DWX. Black Ops 1911 looks sick. Yeah, it's one of my favorite 1911s, even though I've got, much more expensive 1911s. That one I really like, although that one's pretty expensive. Either the M17 or the Para Ordnance, nice. So the M17, that's an actual military issued M17. I just had the slide sandblasted. Like, that's a bare metal finish on that one. And then I put an X full frame on it, a Harrington Arms compensator. It's got an optics plate for an RMR, and then it's got my X5 Legion trigger in it because I put an Armory Craft in the other ones. Are M4s legal to buy, not select fire military issues? But technically M4 is a style now. So you can buy M4 lowers, things like that. Trigger on the 320 looks nice. Yeah, all I did was I took the factory curve trigger out of it because it was a base M17, and I took the trigger out of I had it sitting in a baggie forever, my old X5 Legion, and I just put it in there. So it's just an X5. You miss looking at the DWX. Join the Discord. I'm sure Stone will put it up on the Discord. AG, what is up? Rocky is extremely tired tonight, so he is zonked out. He and I had a long play session today. I gave him a sloth that a friend of mine gave me for my birthday, and he's been playing with that every day. I'm installing the M-Carbo short stroke trigger on my 365. Nice. Actually sold my 365. Now, those of you that are in the know that I picked up a 365 XL only because it had this 507K mounted to it. Yeah, there you go. It's also probably backwards for you. But 507K that was on there, and I took that off, and the TLR 7 sub that was on there. So I paid $400 for the whole setup and sold the gun for $350. Incognito says, hi, Rocky. People love you, Rocky. He always presents his butt. Well, that's okay, because that's where all the meat is anyways. Ask your girlfriends. Are the FN15 ARs any good? Yes, they're actually one of my recommendations because they do go on sale a lot, and you can find them under $1,000 a lot of the time. And at under $1,000, if you can find one in the $900 range, they're definitely worth looking at. So dumb, I might get a 380, 365, just be aware and put that FCU in it. I want to own every caliber type pistol. Law got 9mm 22 LR, want 380 next. 380 is a caliber that I don't buy much, mainly because it gets expensive to run multiple calibers. When I move to Texas, I might consider doing stuff like that. But yeah, right now I don't. Have I seen prices on the new Steyr guns? I have not. Hang on a second. Let me see. Are you talking about their long guns or their pistols? I've seen the price on some of the newer the long guns because I sold a $10,000 Steyr sniper rifle to a guy. Also, my Bursa 2011 is on its way. Finally. Let's see. Firearms, handguns. Let's see. I'd love a price. I mean, it looks kind of, oh, dude, the Steyr looks like a fucking X5. Oh, you know what the Steyr is? The Steyr is a copy of the Arex Alpha. I mean, it's cool looking, but yeah, I get it. Trying to find one that has it for sale. Yes, I'm at least 18 years old. $2,600. Jesus Christ. You know what, though? The funny thing is it looks identical to my Alpha, my Arex Alpha. So I'm pretty sure they copied Arex with the bullnose, the trigger guard, everything about that matches my Arex. I'll wind up having to compare them at some point. It weighs 5 fucking pounds. A lot of money though. Geesh, yeah. Have you seen Vigran pistol roller delayed? I have not. Do people tend to buy a gun by functionality or design? Incognito, it varies from person to person. So right now, Virginia is going to pass the assault weapons ban and mag capacity bans. So right now people are buying them just because they're going to be harder to get. You have until July 1st in the state of Virginia. It's sitting on her desk right now. If she doesn't sign it by April 13th, it just goes into law anyways. So she may do the fence sitting move and let that one sit. But people are buying right now because they fear they won't be able to buy later. That's one reason to buy. I buy based on design and functionality. I like them to look a certain way. I prefer an all-metal gun. That's why I think behind me you've got one polymer gun, and the only reason, or two, I've got 2 polymer frame guns behind me on that entire wall, and that includes all of them. So yeah, I prefer an all-metal gun. And the 2011 grip modules don't count as not being a metal gun. Rocky, I'm going to bite you. Can somebody jump over to Discord and tell them I'm live, even though they know what days I go live? But yeah, it's, yeah, you guys should join the Discord, by the way. Also, if somebody could put the link, and if you can also put your credit card numbers, your CCV, and the expiration date. How many guns are on the wall? I counted 19. You might be right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 17? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 11, 12, 16. And that's just because I don't have the space because I bought pegboard to put shit on. But I didn't buy, I didn't take all my plastic pegs from the other place, and I thought I had another bag and I can't find it. So I have no pegs, so I got to order some. You sent it? All right. Thank you, Grayson.
Thank you, Grayson. You're a good boy.
Glad to see the wall is back. It is, and it's going to be slightly modified. I still got a lot of guns that need to go up there, like I was telling you guys. So like the XF Pro isn't up there right now. 3 other CZs aren't up there. 4 other 1911s aren't up there. So there's a lot of guns that aren't up there yet. So also, I'm working through this week to try to get another 20 guns. So. Where's the giveaway gun? Sitting over on a rack. I didn't put it up on the wall behind me. Who knows? Maybe I'll give away that revolver next. I really like it though, but it doesn't fit. GP 100 and 357. Cody, what is up, sir? So Monday, I'm going to start my guy. He's producing the hoodies. They'll start going out by the end of the month. The Fusion looks so damn tiny. It looks like their upcoming 3.5. It only does because it's next to a full 5-inch SIG and a 5-inch Rock Island. But it is only their 4-inch barrel, so it is their Glock 19 size gun. I like revolvers, but I would never carry one. Well, then you don't know what you're missing then, Shani, sweetie pie, huggity bunch, doogie bunk, ba buddy bung. You know that I love you. I can't help myself. I love you and nobody else. Oh shit! I missed my anniversary yesterday. So my channel started March 17th, 2014. So I've been on YouTube for 12 years. I don't get how the P320s have not gone down in price. They have around here. I paid $250 for an M17 with all its mags when I bought that one. Good boy, Sleep Man. Congrats. Thank you. So I've been making videos since 2016. So I've had it tells you, thank you, Grayson. You're a king. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hit that like button right now. Boy, thank you. First to like. But yeah, so I started making videos in 2016, technically 2015. After Vine shut down. You remember Vine? Vine shut down because whoever it was at bottom also owned Instagram, so Facebook, I think. So I started doing videos over there, and then I transitioned into a full male, and then I decided to start doing gun content after 2017. It's amazing what a little bit of testosterone would do. You'd never know that I used to be a girl. I'm just checking your pads, buddy. Don't freak out. This is Rocky's level of give a shit. Oh, that one he cares about. Oh, by the way, dog penis. Thank you, buddy. He hates having his face on camera, but any chance to show his ding ding, he's up for it. I'll take your word for it. Don't want to be mean. When you get a chance, what do you think is the best sub $1,000 1911 to get? Colts, T-Sauce, or Springfield? I want my first 1911. 133 Andy. So it's a very subjective thing. It depends on the feature set you're looking for, because if you look at the brand Desert Eagle, it's manufactured by a company called Bull Armory. Bull Armory makes exceptional 1911s, and they're routinely under $1,000. Springfield with their Garrisons are definitely under $1,000, but you sacrifice some features. Fusion Firearms, a company that sent me the little guy back there, the XP Pro. They make a lineup of 1911s that are under $1,000. $1,000 opens up almost any manufacturer, but the brands I really like, you can't get Para anymore unless you're willing to go used, because they went out of business in 2016. So I would recommend Bull Armory, Fusion Firearms, and then Springfield. So now the main question is, do you want it to be a feature pack gun? If you want it to have like front strap checkering, rear strap checkering, all the bells and whistles, then you're going to want to look at something like a Fusion Firearms or a Bull. The Springfields, like I said, they're a little more plain. Like they don't even get front strap checkering even on their Operator, which is a $1,400 gun for the loaded. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, that's what I would say. Kimber has a new $1,000 1911, right? Technically, it's a double stack 1911. It's called the Warrior. It's basically that Rock Island, but it's manufactured by Kimber. So instead of being manufactured in the Philippines, it's manufactured here. That gun was $560. The new Kimber is $1,000. So yes. They got like a bone stock GI style. I definitely look into those. Look at the Springfield then. Look at the Springfield mil spec. They're about $650 to $700. Exceptional build quality, exceptional attention to detail. Colts you're not getting for $1,000 in a GI style because I don't even know if they do a plain Jane GI anymore. Yay, you spawned in an island without a backpack. You don't need a backpack, man. Just carry your freaking alpha container. But yes, so I have the Remington, which is the para-based gun, and I have the Rock Island, which is a para-based gun. And I have a para-ordnance double stack that just isn't up there because it was short and fat, and I didn't want to hang it on screws. But yeah, so I've got that one as well. Bull Stores has futuristic style guns. Yeah, some of their guns like the Axe, the Tomahawk, some of their other guns are more futuristic. That's why I said look at the Desert Eagle 1911. Desert Eagle 1911 is made by Bull Armory, but you can routinely find them for under $900, and a lot of times they come with the big ass knife that they manufacture. It's a single piece that actually has 1911 grips as the handle, so they're interchangeable on the gun. God damn, you're sleepy, buddy. He and I played hard. Look at that. This is what happens when you used to be almost 400 pounds. Hey, I'm no neck motherfucker. I said, it puts sugar in water. Prodigy has double stack mags. It does, but it's not under $1,000. And it's also a 2011 style with a removable grip module. Don, what is up, good sir? Oh, sugar. I'll put my hands on my head like this. Vincent D'Onofrio, man. In your opinion, 4.25 Prodigy, Mac DS, or the CMX? Prodigy is out just because of its price. The Mac DS is a great option because you can put an RMR direct onto there. The CMX is an excellent choice because it gives you staccato level features such as no grip safety and better texturing. I need to shoot my DS and the CMX at the same time at some fucking point. But if you're looking for a shorter gun, I would probably go with the CMX. But the CMX is not 4.25, it's 4.4. It's a direct copy of the Staccato. Did you say earlier that the FS Tactical can take checkmate mags? Yes, so you got to put them in without too much force though. If you over force them, then they kind of can, they don't want to lock in, but if you just insert them, they should go fine. If you're going competition shooting, it might not be the smartest thing, but these do lock in. They just don't lock the gun open. You bought the 1911 A1 tanker, just got it from a buddy. They're fun to play with. I just don't like the tanker style, personally. My gun store has a new SIG 320 X Full for $720. Do you know the difference between this and the M17? So the X Full has the X trigger in it. It also has the X Full frame, which is what's on this gun. So it's a full dust cover, and it should come with the flat face trigger. Also, the X Full is just a slightly upgraded M17. How's it going? Nice gun wall. Thank you, Michael. What's up with you? High five. I don't think I'd ever accept the Lucky's rabbit foot. I want the rest of the rabbit. The rest of the rabbit that got away. I want a lucky rabbit. Joey, what's up, Joe? I went to the range today for the first time in a while. Shot my new Kimber target. Wow, did I enjoy that. 720 is way too much for 320. I bought an AXG carry with a acro mount on it for $400. Doing good. Looking for a new job right now. Oh man, I hope the hunt goes well. Yeah, the Target is a pretty cool gun. I went to my buddy's shop. I took him a couple of guns because I'm trying to consolidate the collection, get them into a more pricey gun setup. So I sold him 3 guns, bought one, and got a huge check so I can get a bunch of my other guns back. Ruger 1022 looks awesome on the wall. Thank you. That's the Sharps Brothers chassis 1022, and it's really nice. I do need to tighten down the nut on the buffer tube for the stock, though. That stock came off of my grenade launcher. Oh yeah, the grenade launcher's in my locker. Rocky, I love you. Oh, good boy. Yes, I told my dog I love him. I'll never tell any of you that. I don't even tell hookers that. Hookers have to pay me to tell them I love them. Aww. The boy's tuckered and tired. Oh well, I guess he doesn't want a treat. Is 50 the most a gun can handle? It depends on what you're talking about, but no, 50 is just the maximum that U.S. citizens are allowed to get in a firearm without special sporting license. Strike Industry SAP C. I don't know what that is. Give me a second. Okay, so it's another Glock clone. Striker fired with 1911 angle. No, it is not. That is not a 1911 grip angle. Nice try. Looks kind of cool. So far, wanting my second interview at Academy, hoping I get the job, could buy more guns. Yeah. I always have a problem with working for a gun store in that I never actually make money doing it. Don't look at me like that. You're getting your nails trimmed tomorrow, dude. Those fuckers are way too long. You could skin an elk with those freaking talons you got going right now, bro.
Why did you say that?
Because I know what I'm saying.
Why would you say that?
Well, I hope your interview goes well, and I hope that starting as soon as you can, you are working for Academy Sports. How's Rocky doing? He's good. He's just extremely tired right now. See, he's tired. Let's see. Daria still doesn't have the mags for the DY9Z. Do you think I could switch the mag release to a polymer one and so I can use the 43X mags with no issues? So here's the thing. You can run the steel one with the 43X mags. It just has the ability to cut the plastic on the mag bodies. If you're not going to be doing competition shooting with the 43X, you're just going to be shooting it occasionally. You can do that for a while. Also, you can get the stealth arms, the S15 mags, because those work as well. Not stealth arms. The company that makes them for the 43X, you can get those ones. Is that stealth arms? Stealth Arms does the platypus, so I can't remember. I always get them confused. But if you get the 15 rounders made by the other company, Shield arms, thank you. But yeah, if you get the Shield Arms S15s, you could just run those. They are more expensive, of course. The ACT mags are probably what, like $22 or something like that. Um, yeah, I kind of wish they'd sent me more than two. They sent me 3 mags for their TM22, but that's fine. Yeah. You ain't got no nothing, babe. Yeah, that gun only comes with one. That is the one downside to Daria with their aggressive pricing. I would actually be fine with them adding another $15 or $20 to the price of their guns and just throwing in a second mag. TSOS, SDS, a lot of the Turkish companies have started doing that. So that would be like my only real suggestion. Raise your price, Daria. Raise your price to, you know, another $15 and add a second mag. So they're kind of targeting the same market as the Smith & Wesson SD9. But the problem is the mags were all available for the SD9 because you can use first gen ones. There is no real good option for the DY9Z. So I would like to see them include a second mag. Or once they ramp up on the mag production, I'd like to see them do a range pack like Springfield does. That would be nice to see. Sometimes paying an extra $20 so I don't have to go and buy an $18 mag is worth it, just so for convenience sakes. Because I don't always want to be hunting mags, man. I want to be shooting my damn guns. That's why I did that new video with the some of you may have seen it. If you're members, you can see some of the shorts. CZ75, P10, P07, P09 mags, they all work in a P07. So I have like 40 mags that I can run in my P07 now. Not that I would, because it's a fucking polymer gun. And it's a compact. It's one of the guns I'm probably going to get rid of to replace it with the 1911 or something. Or another 75. Oh, it 100% is. It's a Gen 3 Glock, although I thought the shape was different. But you could swap it out if you want. If you have an extra one laying around, yeah. Just make sure the release faceplate is the same. I wasn't sure if it was, and I don't have mine sitting here. I know that that one is. So, yeah, it's 100% an option, dude. If you already have the mags, then yeah, go for it. I would do that. Beetle deedle deedle dee deedle 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 dee 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 deedle 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 dee deedle 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 dee deedle dee 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 dee. So I should have the Bursa 2011 by this weekend. Hopefully I'll have the truck sold. How have you been feeling lately? I'm experiencing highs and lows, not in a manic depressive way, but experiencing highs and lows, working on getting out of here, working on getting to Texas, got to go to Houston next month. Any new guns coming your way for review? Just the Bursa 92XI or an M2XI, and then I'm waiting for SDS to ship my Mac 9 to the right address. What do I like to clean my guns with? So I have a multi-step process when I clean my guns. I first use gun scrubber, which is a bit aggressive, so you can't leave that on your finishes because it could damage your finish. But I use gun scrubber to fully remove everything. Then I wipe it down, and then I use Wilson Combat Extreme lubes and oils and grease. I like Wilson Combat stuff. It's just really good stuff. Am I packing things up all ready for the move? Not yet, because it's probably 30 to 60 days before I do the move. So I'm not in a hurry to pack things up. And a lot of stuff I never unpacked when I moved into the new place. So I've only been in here for 3 months. So well, technically 2.5 because we're only in the beginning of March still, or middle of March. Do gun shops clean guns? Typically, yes, unless it's something like a Saturday night special. Sometimes some shops won't give a shit. A lot of time, consignment guns don't get cleaned unless the owner is willing to pay for a cleaning. But any gun that the gun shop buys as a used gun will typically get cleaned. Where are you moving to? Texas. Tejas. I'm gonna become one of them fancy gun tubers. You should get a free Staccato for moving to Texas. If they try to give me a Staccato for moving to Texas, I'm moving to fucking Arizona. I don't want a fucking Staccato. I've had a Staccato. I don't care about them. I mean, a free one I would take, but Brooke, what's going on? Everybody's doing well tonight, I see. Good, good, good. I'm Sam. I would offer to help you unload your things, but I'm only good as a supervisor. Lols. Don't tell that to your interviewer. Well, you know, I don't really like taking orders from people, and I like to control my own goddamn schedule. That Wilson you got is great. That Wilson I got is gone. Take it and throw it down range. Nope. Just noticed it's not on the wall. How about a Ross Martin? They're out of Texas. Ross Martin is not my first choice for guns, but that's just because they make polymer frame guns. They're not my favorite. Oh, damn. So I made the video on it, and I made a few shorts with it, and then I realized I could use the money. Yes, I did sell the Wilson already. It's going to help fund my move. It's a gun I bought because I bought it for an extremely cheap price. I didn't buy it because I wanted it. And honestly, after holding it, it was a 3.9-inch gun, and I didn't like the way it fit in my hand. Aside from the slide, it looked like it was in good condition. It was fine, so I gave it to my buddy, gave him a good deal on it. He wrote me a check, and I took that Remington R1 as partial. So I got another double stack 1911 and a check. Well, they are hiring for a team lead. Yeah, well, there you go, Michael. Problem solved. You get to be bossy and make money and tell people what to do and eat potato chips while working. Sorry, I drank some Powerade and it's making me burp. The Remington is a Para Ordnance clone. No, technically not. So here's the long of it. Para USA was bought by Freedom Group in 2012. Freedom Group also owned Remington. In 2016, they killed Para Ordnance and used all of their tooling to build the Remington guns. So Remington guns, the R1s, the enhanced lineup, are all actually Para Ordnance tooling. They're just stamped with Remington on them. If you look at 2016 Remington R1 enhanced guns, they all have LPA sights that say Para Ordnance on them. So they're actually Para Ordnance guns, just rebranded as Remington. You like the SFX9? Never really messed with it. I just found something called Crawler Juice. That is a streamer item, Grayson. Although that streamer never streams the game anymore. Aren't those hard to find now that the Remington, I remember seeing a lot of those and Browning back then, but haven't seen them in a while. Yes. Well, number one, because when Freedom Group went bankrupt, they stopped producing the guns. Like that gun actually came in the original brown box. Or not brown box, green box. So it's an older box. But yeah, it wasn't a very popular one. Para was the first one to make the double stack conversion kits for 1911s. I remember seeing their old kits online. Yes, Para Ordnance invented the double stack. Oh, thank you for the lucky clover. So the background isn't backwards. You're just inverted. So Para Ordnance created the double stack 1911 for competition. They were based out of Canada, invented the double stack 1911, and then STI and SVI. SVI makes the Infinity and the DVC Tacticals. So STI and SVI both created removable grip modules, creating the 2011. So those are 2011s with removable grip modules. That's a 1911 without it. So yeah, technically two different guns. Dang, that's a nice pickup then. I got it for an extremely low price, so that was the point. What is up, Joe in chat? So they had that gun sitting at their store for over a year on consignment. The guy just didn't want to drop his price, so I wound up getting it for a steal. So I made all my money back on the Wilson and got that gun. What is up, Joe in chat? Not much, Paul. Also, it needs work because it's a fucking Remington copy. So it actually has disconnector issues where it's catching on the disconnector, even though it has the Marvell cut. Do you think we'll see more collabs with Dan Wesson and CZ? No. CZ owns Dan Wesson. CZ funds Dan Wesson, but they have no intention on doing another collaboration. So CZ bought Dan Wesson because they wanted their revolver line. They wanted to sell the revolvers in Europe branded as CZ revolvers, and that fell through. So they wound up owning Dan Wesson, and then they worked together to create the DWX, but then it took 4 years before they actually released it, and they screwed themselves over. When the DWX was announced, we didn't have affordable 2011s. We had Staccatos, which were way overpriced, and then you had custom builds. We didn't have TSOS, SDS, Max. We didn't have all these affordable 2011s, so at the time, a $2,000 2011 seemed like a good price, but it got outclassed by $1,000 guns. Mr. 15 guns. There's actually 16 up there. So, all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm going to see more hybrids. You're not going to. They're not worth the money anymore. They're not worth doing. Which Staccato do you own? I used to own a C2. I owned a C2 Optics Ready, and I sold it. I paid $1,500 with a Leupold Delta Point Pro on it, so it had a $450 optic on a $3,000 gun. I paid $1,500 for it, and I sold it for $28. Hated that gun. It did nothing better than even my fucking Match X. That Match X up there is a $1,000 2011 that I tuned as a 1 pound 8 ounce trigger, full Wilson internal kits, everything. If I were to buy and build that gun, I would have had less than $1,200 into that gun, and it will outrun a fucking XC all day long. No, it won't. Staccatos are awesome. No, they're not. The Bursa I've got coming is hand-fitted, hand-lapped, and hand-assembled. Staccato can't even say that. Just grabbed the equalizer from Smith & Wesson. Any thoughts on the gun itself? It's an interesting gun that kind of came out at a time where nobody cared, which was the doofiest thing ever, because you got 3 mags, an up Lula, plus the gun. It's easier to rack, but it also came at a time when 365s, Hellcats, and shit were the popular ones. I want that Gerson. So does Stonehaven. Where are the Dan Wesson revolvers? They don't seem to have them on their site. So Dan Wesson is not really doing revolvers right now. I'm trying to think because CZ also owns Colt now. So I think they're putting their money in revolvers into the Colt lines versus the Dan Wesson stuff. I went through 3 XCs, multiple trips to Staccato. They had to retune the extractors. Yeah. So again, I'm not saying that Staccatos are a fail gun. I'm saying that for $4,400, they should have the same level of quality as a Watchtower Apache, a Hayes Custom, and Atlas. Any of those guns that are actually worth the money because they're handmade, versus charging $4,400 for a production line gun. It doesn't make sense to have a production line gun that costs $4,400. What? I didn't know that CZ acquired Colt. That's wild. Yeah, they bought them in 2023. Colt went bankrupt in 2022. CZ swooped in and bought them in 2023. If you look at new manufactured Colt boxes, they have CZ's logo on the sticker. Yes, exactly, Ake. There's no reason. So my Dan Wesson DWX, even though the finish was trash at $2,000, would outshoot a Staccato. I really like the lightness of the slide and trigger. The optics RMSC setup's a little funky to find good stuff for. I'm running an Osite K Micro. So if you want something with a bigger window that fits the RMSC pattern, look at the Holosun EPS full size. It's a larger window optic that fits on the RMSC pattern. Instead of spending that much money on a Staccato, I'll go ahead and put the extra on a Nighthawk. No kidding, right? Hey, Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand? I'm on my way to see the person that shot my dog's paw. Penis. I didn't know his leg was going to kick. I grabbed a sleeping dog's leg, and I was surprised that he kicked. Hi, cockroach. I'll buy one of those one day. I hear you. Dude, they keep going more expensive while the C4X is hilarious. Yes, and the C4X, look at the Gerson CMX, C4X CMX. Keith over at EAA, by the way, I'm going to an NRA show next month in Houston. Keith told me at last year's 2025's NRA show that he was coming out with this new grip module and the pin safety and shit. He said, I hate Staccato. No, he didn't say he hated them. He just said, I don't care for Staccato's pricing. So he builds those new guns in direct competition to Staccato because it's funny. I have that in my cot. Noted. Thanks. Rocky's the coolest dog. Yeah, he is. Grayson, welcome back. Bruce, what's up? Vortex Venom enclosed for my new Glock 47. Why would you ruin a Venom? Instead of Staccato, I'll deal with the weight on a Fowler Vanta 9. Also consider looking at like Jacob Gray. I don't have as much experience, but PewView really likes him. Look at a Hayes Custom. They have used guns that are less than Staccatos. Vanta 9 is only $600 more than the C4X. It's a bargain, lol. Yeah, I don't know much about that myself, so. Wait, Houston has an NRA show, one of the small Pasadena gun shows in Houston area. So it moves every year. Last year it was in Atlanta, Georgia. This year it's in Houston, Texas. Did you hear about the One Horse Company? I think it's called some people from Anderson made it. Yes, One Horse is the new one. There's also one called 360 Precision that I might check out. Cossaint Arms, the owner used to be one of the main guys at ACTI. Here's a funny thing. Cossaint makes the frames for Gerson. If you go to a store, ask to see the box for the Gerson 2011s. Inside, there's a little thing from Cossaint Arms. Cossaint Arms makes the fucking frames for Gerson. I'm not sure. I've never seen 50 Shades of Grey. I'm not queer. Hit the like button, y'all. What's up, Branches, by the way? The newest Jacob Gray Hex does have my interest. There you go. Can I still call you Wrenches? Yes. Nice and curious questions. Can anyone go to SHOT Show? Not SHOT Show. SHOT Show in Vegas is a industry only. I can go because I'm a gun tuber, and when I had my FFL, I could have went as a business. And I've been invited by all the manufacturers that sponsor me. The NRA show is open to anybody. It's $35 for the whole weekend unless you have an NRA membership, and then it's free, and I have an NRA membership just for that. You watch it every night, please. I watch Twilight, bitch. Guardian, what's up, bro? My doggy is very tired. My doggy and I played for a long time today. We were playing tug for like an hour. I wore him out. Jacob Gray Hex Pro is sweet, and they got a 3.5 coming out for those who want compact. All you weirdos with that compact shit. Do you still have the store? Nope, I lost my lease, so... I've never seen a single installment of the Twilight series. I've also only seen the third Lord of the Rings movie, and I slept through half of it. For sure, I don't know why I booted my old username, so I had to change it. Plus, I don't work on cars anymore, so it's kind of fitting. Nice. I thought anyone could walk through the SHOT Show. No, SHOT Show is industry only. and journalist. It's kind of like SEMA. SEMA is not open to the public. I'll be outside then waving at everyone. Yeah, so. Not that I have any compact pistols. Look, the only compact pistols I have are typically my all-metal guns. I don't like owning compact pistols. They're just not me, dude. Loving the wall. I'm loving that you seem a bit more upbeat now. Just because I've kind of made a life decision on how I'm going to change my life and make my life better. So, still in the big space you moved to with God's Garage? Yes, so I'm still in that garage space, but I'm not staying. If you didn't know, Bruce, I am leaving the state of Virginia. Virginia has passed the assault weapon ban and magazine capacity ban. It's currently sitting on the governor's desk, and the odds of her vetoing it are about zero. Even if she decides not to sign it into law, if she doesn't sign it by April 13th, it just goes into law anyway. I'll go to World of Concrete across the street. Loddle-leedle-leedle-leedle. So I really wish I could keep the shop, but I need to change my life. I want to go someplace where I can be a lot more free. Local shop has a Dan Wesson 15 for sale. What is a Dan Wesson 15? So on to Western Virginia? No. The only reason I would go to West Virginia at this point is if the house in Texas is not savable. Oh, 357 Magnum? That's cool. Oh, I can't wait to talk to Dan Weston and be like, dude, you know I fucking sold the gun that I waited 2 years to get another one of because you fuckers have such a shitty finish on your guns. What's the next gun or rig that you're looking into next? North Carolina is always nice. Can't beat 300 joules for girl power. Jesus, thank you. So technically the Remington R1 was the newest acquisition for the channel. Rid of the carry permit requires be like South Carolina. So we've had this conversation a lot. I am fine with constitutional carry. I think it's fine. I think it's a right as a citizen. But I always suggest that if you are going to do that, that you still take a course if you're not familiar with firearms so that you can at least get used to or at least some instruction on the proper way to carry. I'm not saying as a requirement for constitutional carry. I just recommend that you take a class. I also recommend that if you're going to be if you're living near the border of 2 states, that you get a concealed carry weapons permit just so you can travel across state lines if the other state has reciprocity. For example, right now, Virginia still has reciprocity with all 50 states. So if you have a concealed carry permit from any state in the union, you can carry concealed in Virginia and not have to worry about it. However, if you come from West Virginia, which is constitutional carry, and you don't have a concealed carry permit and you're in the state of Virginia, you can't conceal carry. So, and with the upcoming assault weapon bans and shit, you got to be careful. Stone, what is your favorite on the wall? Obviously, my Matchets. Is that the M17 with the red magwell? Yes, those were on eBay. I sold some stuff on eBay, and those magwells were on eBay for like $11 with free shipping. So I was like, fuck it, I'll get one. How you doing, Stones? Although I kind of like my evil combo there, the CZ75 SP01 with the fucking SIG Romeo Pro on it. That's always a funny one. Your Match X. That is not your Match X yet, brother. I'm here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Love our laws. I'll try to make it to as many classes, courses as I can. Go to range day this weekend with my gray farm and bee team. It's a way to do it, man. There's nothing wrong with continuing your education as a gun owner and a gun user. Taking advanced courses is awesome, dude. Especially if they do like real world live fire drills or shooter scenarios. It enables you to practice under pressure. So yeah, I'm sitting at home for a few weeks, maybe. What happened? Did you break your coccyx? Yeah. No worky. Oh, did you get fired? Wonder if I can invert this live. Create highlight, green screen, lighting. Oh, lighting. We can adjust our lighting. Okay. No, I don't want it on. Okay. Where's the SIG 226? It's over there. I didn't have time to put it up. I ran out of nails. It's a business I'm in. I provide a lot of the restaurants or produce and other things here in Milton Bradley. That's cool. Luckily, I'm in North Carolina. My neighbor is our RSO class instructor, so that's who I got my concealed through. So my old boss at Liberty Arms, when I helped him set up his store, he actually did my CCW. He's an NRA instructor back when the NRA wasn't fucking actively trying to take away our guns. Anyone here in North Carolina that looking to start competing? I'm looking to start, but don't want to go alone. Nice. I hope you find some people, Guardian. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going to a competition by yourself. If it's a good group of people, they should accept you regardless. Like, I'm going to be the worst one at any competition I go to. Although I rewatched some of my videos, I'm not as slow as I thought I was. Really, bitch? Why are you stiff-arming right now, buddy? Hey, Guardian, if you just travel to Illinois every few weeks, you get to hang out with my boy. Yeah, he's in Charlotte, Illinois. Why do you get to sleep? What is this? Roll over. Okay, it's just your fur. Okay, sorry. Thought he had more skin tags. I've been wanting to try competitive shooting, but I'm not good. Doing it is how you get good, bro. Just go, have fun. Going for the fun of it is the first part. Getting better is just a result of going. Guardian, I'm in North Carolina, but my guns suck. Your guns suck, huh? Fine, send me the orange back. That orange will destroy competitions. Where are you thinking of going to in Texas? Just about an hour outside of Houston. Drunk Mouse has some property. He has a house on that property. It needs to be rebuilt, so I figured I'd make a YouTube channel out of that, rebuilding an abandoned house, kind of like Demo Ranch did, or Off the Ranch did, or whatever channel he was putting that on. So I'm thinking about doing that, as well as he's got land, so that'll be cool. I needs to get better. I got some matches for this year. So yeah, it's Stone will tell you I'm an okay shot. Mouse will tell you I'm an okay shot too. Drunk Mouse is not from Houston, but his family has a house in Texas, and I was actually conceived in Texas. So my dad was on leave from the army and decided to get a Korean woman preggers. 7 months later, I was born. I should have been born in 1980, but I was born in 1979. That's right, kids. I'm almost 47 fucking years old. I'm a horrible shot. Your videos say you're more than okay. I try. I know there are so many people out there that are way better than me. So I'm an okay shot. I can do precision shooting okay, but I don't have any speed. Get you beat. I turned 60 this year. There you go, Don. Problem is, I'm closer to 60 than I am to 25. I'm closer to 60 than I am to 40. 30. Fuck. You know what I mean. What's the Discord? Yeah, somebody put up the thing. The competition part doesn't intrigue me, but banging guns is what matters. And that's the fun part, though, dude. And yeah, like me, because of my health issues and my things, and I'd have to have my dog there, and I need to get him like a headset that he can wear, like the military dogs wear, if I'm going to take him to a gun range. I don't know. I'm just as happy shooting by myself. I'm 19. I'm old enough to be your father's older brother, fucker. If I had you when I lost my virginity, you would have been born. You would be right now. I would be 33 years old. Nah, my dad's 56. Well, your dad started with you very late. So my dad, I'm 20 years younger than my father. I'll be 36 in a few months. Fuckers. Well, that makes sense, Grayson. And honestly, 56 isn't terrible for you to be 19. That means he had you when he was old. I'm 44. You're still younger than me. I miss being 19. Getting old is gay, but a privilege, so a gay privilege. At 19, I was selling cars. My first year, I made 90 grand, so money wasn't an issue. Gambling was my issue. My daughter is 13. I started really late having kids. A lot of people do, and there's nothing wrong with that. Not like my parents still are like, when are you going to give me kids? I'm like, I gave you a dog, son. I don't call him my kid. I have the John Cena mentality on life. If you've ever looked at like shorts on YouTube, you've seen him explaining why he doesn't want to have kids. I am blessed with so much stuff, even though I don't have any money anymore. I am blessed with so much stuff in my life that I don't want to give up to have kids. Well, I'm 31, but I still feel like I'm 21. Being 29 sucks. You'll be all right, Paul. Don't forget to order your Jimmini Show hoodies. Yeah. So, yeah, dude, we're getting to the end, and there's still plenty of hoodies to buy. I think between Stone, Grayson, McManus, and a few other guys, we still got like, I only started with 30. I was going to do a full 50, but I don't have enough money. So I did 30 hoodies since nobody was buying them. So, yeah, there's a lot of hoodies left. There's still like 11 hoodies, 12 hoodies or something like that. So, $60 a piece. It's that time when everyone says how old they are. Don, you have a good night, sir. And tell your kid, fix the next generation. You're 13. You should be running this world, not being on Instagram. 23, feeling 43. God damn, somebody just said they're feeling 43. Oh. I was 43 4 years ago. I have no kids and don't want them. I'm pretty sure I'm 26. Nice. Again, biological drive to procreate is an interesting thing, but it's not one that I have. It's a multitude of things. Number one, I know I'm too jealous to give myself to somebody else in a way that would constitute a healthy relationship. Number two is my health is so fucking terrible that I'm guaranteed to give a kid something that's going to kill them other than bring them into the world. So there's that. Number 3, I have been the audience to my mother being married, my mother being married, my mother being married, my mother being married, my father being married, my father being married, my father being married, and then all of those spouses being married and still staying in my life. So I don't have a singular positive familial role model in my life. So I grew up without one, so I don't know how to be in the moment. So my dad's current wife was his high school sweetheart, and they wound up rekindling their romance 40 years later. That marriage is fine. They're doing good. My dad statistically will never be able to get out of this marriage, even if he wanted to, because his first marriage lasted 6 years. His second marriage lasted 21 years. If you go by the laws of exponential growth, he'll be dead before it comes time for his wandering penis to become a problem. So it's one of those things where I didn't see what a healthy family looked like until I met her family, my stepmom. I just call her mom nowadays. But until I met her family and I saw them all getting along, and all I was doing the entire time I was there was like waiting for the wall to crack, waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for them to start fighting like my family did. And it never happened, and it freaked me the fuck out. How do you like running that Mac 9? Get off the age topic. The Mac 9 is cool, man. The DS, the comp, it's technically a port, not a comp, but it's an amazingly flat shooter. My Match X shoots flatter because it's a true comp versus the one that's on the other one. Tell you, I had a buddy over and he dropped my Ruger Mark IV and he frickin' broke my red dot. It was a nice Vortex that I won from 3-gun. Jesus Christ, man. I would boot that friend. Here, you can have this if we can fit it through the thing. It's not a Vortex, but it's a Holosun. So here you go. Here. Here. Did it go? Here. This is going on my echelon after the video. So. Ooh, Virginia forbidden fruit. Where's the 226? It's on top of the safes right now. I was putting up the screws and I ran out of room because I bought pegboard and I didn't have enough room on it. It'll be back up there on Friday. Did he buy you a new one? Nah. I didn't touch it. I had salad in it stuck in my tooth. Hey, look at my dog's ass. Using a piece of plastic. Why didn't you guys tell me there was grass in my teeth? Cracked the glass and didn't replace it. Yeah, that sucks, dude. I thought Vortex has lifetime guarantees, though, don't they? Have I shot the 1022? I'm going to be a buck with you. I haven't shot a gun in 3 months. Grayson, Contact Vortex Optics. They have a unconditional, unlimited, lifetime, fully transferable VIP warranty on all their products. They will repair or replace a damaged or defective product at no cost to you, even if it's caused by accident, with no warranty card or receipt needed. So contact Vortex. Dang, I'm sorry for your loss, man. I hope work does one. I have one too. Yep, they have an unconditional lifetime. So all you got to do is fill out an RMA form with them and send it in. Still don't let your friend touch your guns, though. You know, it's funny. The Burris on my fucking my Fastfire C that's on top of my Match X is still broken. So I think actually what's going to happen is This is going on my Match X. The Holosun's going on my Match X. The Fastfire is going on my DY9, and that RMR is going on my Echelon. I'm by more. Now I also got a CV Life. So that's got a CV Life, and that's a CV, no, that's a Siley. So that's a CV Life on there, but I need to change that optic because of how high it's sitting. I can't get it low enough to zero. I might just put the sights back on that one. I might just go iron sights back on that 320. Is that the 509? I love the 509. Which one? The optic? This is the 507K. So it's the one with the multi-reticles. God damn it, I already lost the screw. Fuck you all. Oh, there it is. Never mind. Never mind, I love you again. Taste test. So this is the CV Life copy of the Romeo 5. I really like this one. Has a really nice dot. I never used a 507. You got a 509 with the 507? Nice. I haven't got a new gun in a while and it's starting to itch. CV Life is good. I got it with the gun I bought a couple of months ago. They're solid. I have to say that they're a Chinese brand, obviously, even though it says country. CV stands for country values. Country values for life, CV Life. But this is literally a direct copy of a Romeo 5. But it holds zero well, and I've had no problems with it. Also, my fake EOTech showed up today. I got to go pick that up tomorrow. Lycan, thank you for the $10. Thank you for the $5 earlier, brother. Lycan likes to leave me super thanks on videos. I'm awesome. Saving up to buy a Hawkins rifle. I've heard of them, I think. But thank you very much, brother. A few Romeo 5s and random builds, but I never had a CV Life. I've had a lot of them. So that is like my third CV Life red dot, even though I've never gotten one from them. Siley has sent me a couple of optics. Aimwin has sent me optics. That's actually the rocket. So Grayson, after this video, after this live, I'll take a picture of the optic that's on there. That is a copy of a Holosun now. And then the Match X has the Burris, and then that's a Sig Romeo 1 Pro. Or Sig, no, that's just a Romeo 1. That's on top of my SPL 1. It's really fucking weird to see that. I want the TS3. It's not out yet, though. It's already sold out. I just watched Jeremiah Johnson and the Boomer. Never heard of that. But yeah, so when I go to NRA show, I'm going to talk to a bunch of different people and see what they do. It's funny because the CV Life I got looks like a copy of my Vortex. Yeah, so CV Life is a Chinese brand. It should say Chinese values for life. They've never sent me an optic to review, so. What makes the FS Tactical not a 2011? It's a single piece frame. So hold on a second. The Match X is a 2011 style. It has the removable grip module and the metal frame. The Remington R1 is para-ordnance style. That is a 1911. So it is a double stack 1911, even though it can take the same mags as that bitch. Same thing with the para-ordnance FS Tactical. The O-Sight, oh, by the way, I got to put that on a gun too. Fuck. The O-Sight with the 20% discount doesn't launch until the 21st or the 22nd. When you did it, it's already sold out. Yeah, gun stores that put in their order with the manufacturers are already pre-selling them. What about the 90-2, brother? I missed the other part of whatever you said, dude. It just popped up with only part of it. Now that I have my RXM, I'm thinking to get that Sharps Brother frame, but I'm looking on the used market. Hopefully I can get it in on trade. Do I know how much the TS3s are going for? Hold on a second. $4,500. Did you sell the 9? No, I just ran out of room. I'm going to redo the wall for Friday. I have 3 pieces of pegboard, so I have 6 feet by 4 feet that's going to go up. So it's going to be the whole wall. I'll probably turn the phone sideways to get the entire thing in frame, because you can actually do a sideways one which fills up the frame. I just didn't. So I will put that up there. I'm not selling the 90-2 to anybody for any amount anymore. So footprint is RMSC. What is my favorite polymer 9mm? I don't really like polymer 9mm. So if I'm going to be forced to pick a polymer 9mm, it's probably going to be something like the CZP-09. Not the new Nocturne, the old style. I got one sitting up there right now, although it's not optics ready, but you can buy a slide for it. Probably the P320 would be my next. Like, that P320 is pretty solid. You can see I built it up, turned it from an M17 into an X-Full. I should have waited for your discount on O-Site, dang it. Yeah, you should have, but that's fine. You didn't know. Sharps Bros are cool and all, but I just can't put up that money on my Echelon, which I already love. Echelon 4.5 with the 507. Yeah, so Sharps Brothers sent me that frame, and I do have the RXM as well, but that one's still pawned. So I'm getting that one this week. But yeah, so the Sharps Brothers stuff is impressive. Yeah, like the chassis for the frickin' 1022 was like $400. The Echelon is like $330 unless you add the Magwell. The Magwell's currently on my RXM because I only have one of the Magwells. So the Magwell was fucking expensive as shit. At work, walked in, started talking to me right when you were saying you were moving. Oh, so I'm moving to Texas because Virginia has the assault weapon bans coming in. The Icarus on the Echelon is awesome. It's also the same price. I used to have the Icarus frame. Stone will tell you, I actually used 2 competing companies to both send me frames. I had the Icarus Precision, but I didn't care for it, so I wound up selling it after a year. Fuck, I just got Impulse on the K-Series. I should have waited. Also wish I knew that. So it's a big difference. I'm not going to say, so the SE is an enclosed optic, the 507 is not, so there's nothing wrong with that, dude. Will it be through Amazon or their website? I believe it will be through Amazon. Where am I planning to relocate to? Basically an hour outside of Houston, Texas. An assault weapon ban. What the hell? Yep. So Virginia went complete. But 1022s are gay. That is a bull barrel target and a Sharps Brothers chassis. You take that back, Bruce. But yeah, so Virginia became a one-party state this election, and immediately they instituted a bill which passed because they are a one-party state now. So they're basically copying Illinois, New York, and all the other fucking states that have done it. Congrats. Thank you, Bruce. We need to hang out before you go. Oh, yeah, absolutely, dude. Also, I'll be coming back here every now and then anyways because I got family here. I can't wait to see the EOTech clone, lol. Are you going to do a video on it? Yes, I'm picking it up. It's at my parents' house sitting there right now. It was delivered today. So I'm going to go pick that up tomorrow, and I'm going to throw it onto my Daria Arms TM22. So my fake AR-15 that's in 22 caliber will have a fake EOTech on it. Although I was really thinking about fucking with people and putting it on my HK and fucking taking the HK in some place and seeing if somebody wanted to buy it. Just for fun. I thought it'd be hilarious. A lot of gay bars in Texas. You'll be fine. Look, bro, I'm into beers, steers, and queers. Gonna put. Oh, he's sleeping. His jaw's twitching. Man, how bad do people panic buy before the ban there? So it hasn't gone into effect yet. It goes into effect July 1st, but I was just down at Middletown, the store I used to run, and he did $100,000 in sales in the last 3 days. I hope Texas will do well for you. It will, dude. Texas will automatically never institute an assault weapon ban just because states like California, New York, and DC all have them. Delaware, Maryland, all have them. And now Virginia. They will do it on purpose. They will do an anti-ban. That's why the state of Texas, if you buy a suppressor made in Texas, you don't have to do a background. You don't have to do a federal. You just buy it and go. Which also means I'm going to own some more suppressors as soon as I get there. Also, I'll be getting a home FFL when I'm in Texas so that I can do more shit and share stuff. I have the Daria TM22. What silencer would you run? I'm really partial to silencer codes, so I would go with the switchback, personally. For a slip that you are into a gay bears, for a slip that you are into gay bears, I can totally see that. I said steers, beers, and queers. Bruce said he's into the bears. I have a Daria. Well, you're into Glocks, so fuck you. Also, for those of you that are members, go fucking watch all the new shorts, and I put up a video that's going up on Friday on the Wilson Combat, a gun I don't own anymore. Oh, Glock. I'm a snake. That made in Texas suppressor bill never worked out. Ah, dude, Grayson, that fucking sucks. I thought you and the boss were tight. What's up, McManus? I farted bad. Okay, so here's where it currently sits, okay? While Texas House Bill 957 declares that firearm suppressors made in Texas and remaining in Texas are exempt from federal law still applies. It is highly advised to continue using the ATF Form 4 process, including the $200, obviously not the $200 tax stamp. But effective September 1st, 2021, Texas state allows the possession of made in Texas suppressors without a federal tax stamp, provided they are manufactured in state using local materials. Federal conflict. Federal law still requires registration. Background check. Violation can result in felony charges. Made in Texas label. Suppressors qualifying for the state exemption must be clearly marked made in Texas. Current status. Despite the state law, the ATF does not recognize the Texas exemption, meaning legal risk extends for following not only state laws, notes Silencer Co. So, basically, Texas is saying if you have it in Texas, it says made in Texas, we're not going to enforce the federal law because state supersedes federal, but it is still, they're saying that you should do it the right way. And since you don't have a $200 tax stamp and I don't give a fuck about letting them know who I am, I will probably do it that way. I hope I get to visit sec. Yeah, I already sold it, dude. I didn't like the way it felt in my hand. It was too small. It didn't fit right. Is it true a bullet can't hit a bullseye if it was shot horizontal because of downforce gravitational? Just watching crazy professor in physics. No. It doesn't matter which way you hold a gun. It's still going to spin in the barrel. It's the barrel rifling that stabilizes the round. The round is affected by gravity no matter which way the round is shot out of the gun. If you shoot a gun upside down, it doesn't immediately shoot into the ground. In fact, if you were trying to say that the gravitational spin of the bullet is affected by the direction you're holding the firearm, if you're holding it upside down, that theoretically means that you have an infinite range because the directional spin of a bullet means it would want to track downwards from the bottom of the gun. And if you're holding the gun upside down, that means it would technically go up. So it's not true. No, I've never owned the P10 in 45 AC, but I know two people who do. Yeah, so there will be some available stock eventually, but all the manufacturers bought them at SHOT. All the dealers that were going to get them bought them at SHOT Show. I guarantee you, Guns.com, the bigger dealers all went to SHOT Show and bought them. And they're going to be $4,500 fucking dollars. So why do you want one? It was the same way with the Shadow 2 Target. Remember they had the Shadow 2 Target for $3,000, and I could have bought one, and then a minute later they were gone. PVU, that is not true at all. He nails steel at 100 mil. Yeah, exactly, McManus. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't work that way. Hey, Van, what's up, dude? Long time. Why would you not want one? For $4,500, there's other guns I would rather have. I'd rather spend $2,000 on a TS2. I'm not good enough to fucking maximize a TS3. You're starting to look at Southern Nevada or Northern Arizona. Go to Arizona. You can hang out with Drunk Mouse. I'm afraid that my TS2 is better, and the only reason not spend money on it. So it won't be better than the TS3, but it also will be better dollar for dollar. So at $1,500 to $1,800 new, the TS2 Blue will outshoot a $4,500 gun based on the dollar per bullet. Anything you saw from SHOT Show catch your eye. For me, it's a PSA 2011 if they ever fucking release it. So I reached out to them and told them I wanted one of the Saber 2011s. I don't know if I'll get one. SHOT Show, I paid zero attention to it because I was in the middle of trying to figure my shit out. I was supposed to go to SHOT Show, but then I lost my lease. Everything, PSA's 2011 will probably be in the same vein as everybody else is. It'll probably be like the Springfield. It'll probably be close to a $1,500 2011. That's why Kimber came out with the single piece Warrior, because the single piece Warrior is para ordnance designed, and that's why it's $1,000. Anything that's a single frame can be a lot cheaper because you don't have to manufacture all the extra parts. Like I have 3 double stack 1911s that are para ordnance based. 2 of them are para ordnances. Technically 3 of them are. Rocky, if you fart again, I swear to God I'm Dutch oven. Actually, you know what? Fuck you. Here. Enjoy your own fart, buddy. He turns ass towards me, and then he rips him. Hey. Hey. What's up, buddy? How you doing? How you doing, Mr. Sleepy? Also, dog penis. Yeah, that's one right there. That's the Rock Island FS TAC. Could be worse. I'm stuck in California. Northern California is so completely different state and Southern, but I'm still bound by the same stupid rules. Yep, the TS3 is beautiful, though. The TSO is an amazing gun. I'll never be good enough to shoot it at its full potential. I heard the Sabres were going to be around 1,800. They said they'd be more than the Prodigies, but material will be a million times better. Yeah, but their build quality won't be. I don't know shit about SIGs. Do they ever fix a problem with the 320? Yes. So it's actually an interesting thing. They have one with a threaded barrel too. Yep. So the P320s, the guns that were affected in this entire issue were P320s, M17s, and M18s with the curved trigger. Basically, basic bitch cheap versions. Because the shape of the trigger shoe and everything else conspired to make the guns able to uncommanded discharge. Those guns affected were all built before 2021. The problem is the internet, as fast as it is with instant gratification, is slow to take up a story. Those guns have been an issue since before 2021. They were fixed way back then. How about GunCon? You interested? I believe it's coming up sometime in June. If by the time June comes around, I'll be knee deep in a house in Texas, dude. I'm going to NRA show because that'll be the big one. Also, GunCon, that's the one put on by the Gun Collective, right? It didn't go well last year, so I have no desire to go there, dude. If you're serious about that stone, you can send it to Taylor's and Company. They're the ones that did the bluing on mine. Have them do a deep polish hard chrome or a hard finish on it. That thing would look good with a polished black on it. I haven't heard any of those updates on the 320s yet. Thanks for sharing. It's a little known public secret. The problem with telling somebody what guns, that some guns have been repaired, is that nobody gives a shit. All people want to hear about are the guns that are failing. I fixed that M17 by putting an X5 trigger in it. It no longer has an ability to uncommanded discharge. The problem is how SIG handled it. Yes. I also feel strongly that SIG is killing off the 320 and replacing it with 365 variants. No. I don't agree with that. They're just coming out with more expensive versions of it. Let's see here. And not 3320. So P320, they still make the compact in 9 and 45. Obviously M17, they make the steel frame, which is one I want. 320 carry, 320 full size, 320 carry with the optics ready, AXG Legion, the F full, the SXG Pro, the X5 Legion Pro, the X10. So, I mean, they still make quite a few models of the 320. I don't see them actually sending them out. How about I send it to you and you can get it done for me? You can send it to me. I don't know how fast I can get it done though, man. 365 have been coming out like clockwork for years now. Yep. Can I be allowed into Discord? Yeah, you just got to join, dude. Hit the like button, Galveston. Just outside. Oh, they still make them. I just think they're slowly replacing it with full-size 365s. I'm sure they would like to because the 365s aren't as crazy. I do like the look of some SIG 1911s along with the 935, 938. Yep. The Tavor kit grips came today with postage due. How is that possible? I used the machine there. I personally like how the 320s feel and shoot, but SIG did not handle that situation. You are correct, AT. They did not handle that situation correctly. And it's funny because I went to NRA show during the middle of the height of that shit, and people were still popular. They was still a very popular booth. That's how I got the 1911X, was actually from visiting NRA show. So that 1911 right there is a SIG 1911X. So I think that's why they never had the issues. That's one of the reasons, McManus, but also if you have a 320 at home, and I know you do, flip it over and look at the length of the cut for the trigger shoe. They should have shortened the shit out of that. That is one of the major factors to why they had uncommanded discharges. Zara P220, yes. The P220 is the SIG 220 is the single stack version of the 2 series. 320s are fine. They're not great or terrible. They're mid in price. If you get the X5 Legion or the steel frame X5, they're okay. I'm excited that you're coming. Yeah. She had to pay $5. It's fine. That's stupid, dude. That was a light ass envelope. All I did was put the label over your label, I thought. There's a bit of tolerance stacking with cheap MIM parts made in Asia too. Yeah, so yeah, it was design oversight, but I think they were trying to make the guns easily serviceable because I think the 320 lineup was made exclusively for military contracts, and then they designed it into a civilian version. Like, their main purpose was to get the military contracts, and they needed to make them as reliable as possible. And the best way to make a gun reliable as possible, as cheaply as possible, is to have terrible tolerances. Look at Glock. Glock makes tons of money, but for Blue Line, they sell their guns at a price that's basically right. So Blue Line Glock 19 is $339. That's what they should sell. Yeah, it's sitting on the chair, Mouse. I was going to bring it with me. I can send it out if you want it before I go. Yeah, Justin needs to approve it, or I'll do it after the live stream. I didn't even know you needed applications, but I think Justin instituted that. Okay, nice. Just bring it with you. All right. Why do you keep opening your leg, dude? Put your leg down. Put your leg down. I don't want to pet your penis right now. We're on screen. I mean, you don't touch a dog. What? Oh yeah, the issue is tolerances were too tight and shoved into a mass production too quickly without proper testing. Yep. I don't know. Justin just did that. Yep. Do you think you'll be able to fix the Mosin crack stock when you come? Like I said, we can do an infused epoxy. So I just need to bring a vacuum, a bag, and some epoxy. We'll put it into a vacuum bag and pull the epoxy into the stock. And that should theoretically fix it. And it should be a good enough fix that you shouldn't be able to see it. Fuck, I can't call the hall till Friday. Meet you in Virginia. I should head over. Lol. I mean, I have a 320. I built out 6 custom parts and a bar lower, and it's fine. A lot of money for a mid pistol, to be honest. Not bad, just not great. No, it's the same problem with, honestly, it's the same problem with Glock. If you have a base model or just an FCU and you go to build the gun, you're never going to make a gun that's as good as like a custom, like the CZs and shit. I agree with that. But for $800, an X5 Legion, a AXG, or any of the variants are worth it. No, he doesn't even want it. Okay. What's the stainless revolver? That's the Ruger GP100, Mouse. Picked up another 10 guns today and doing another 10 tomorrow. So we have 17 on the wall. We have 10 on the safes over there, and I'm picking up 10 more this week. Oh, yeah, it's a great gun. You'll love shooting it. I agree with that as well. Buying a Glock and throwing another 500-600 worse just means you have a mid 1100. Yep. Oh, 1,000%. So that 320 started as an M17. If I had paid $700 for an M17 and then paid for the Harrington Arms comp, which is $200, $150 for the factory SIG threaded barrel, the X full frame, the X5 trigger, by the time I would be done, I'd have $1,200 into it. I'd rather buy a much better gun than that. But because I paid $250 and I got all the other parts at cost, I got $450 into a custom 320. Got a lot of hate because I personally hate Glocks with a passion. Never doubt their reliability, but I hate the way they shoot and feel. You won't get any hate here, dude. We are not Glock fanboys here, despite the fact that I have a rainbow Glock tattoo. We are not Glock people here on this channel. Who's my good boy? Rocky's like, I want to go to bed, motherfucker. And I'm like, I can't do that. But yeah, here on this channel, you will never get that. I would tell you 1,000% get a fucking CZP-10C before you get a fucking Glock. It's one thing I heard influencers say, would you buy a Glock when you can, why would you buy a Glock when you can buy an Echelon? Yeah, the Echelon is underrated. However, I only like metal frame guns mostly, unless I have no choice. I don't like Glocks, but Joe said I'm not allowed to buy that because I've never owned one. I've got a Glock 17, partial shade towards that Q5. ICCW a Glock, but that's it. I won't glaze them. Yeah, no, look. I always say this, and I used to say this to everybody that came into the stores. If you don't care about guns, but you want a gun, you want one gun, a gun for home protection, personal protection, safety, shit like that, then a Glock 19 is a great way to go. It's a very reliable gun, but I would still recommend a P10 over a Glock 19. Thank you for the Echelon. Whoa. Yeah, in a world where P10 exists, I'll never understand people buying Glock. P10s were underrepresented when they came out. That's the problem. It took a lot of time before the P10s got the traction they do now. I've owned plenty of Glocks. I'll allow you to say you don't like Glock. Nope, sorry. Stone has bought like 18 of my guns. He's never bought one of my Glocks. Joe, steal the Echelon back when you see him. I'll let him borrow my Echelon. He can have my Echelon, and then he'll send you yours back. Thoughts on the Kimber DS Warrior? I feel like it's probably a good gun, but I just like the look of Gerson and T-Sauce. So the Kimber DS Warrior is a Para Ordnance clone. The Kimber DS Warrior is literally that gun. Rock Island Armory bought all the tooling from Para Ordnance. So that is a Para Ordnance pattern gun. The Remington R1 is literally a Para Ordnance. That is the Kimber Warrior right there. So the double stack 1911 is 100% viable. The only reason why they can afford to sell it for $1,000 is because they aren't manufacturing polymer lowers in a different facility. So when you manufacture a 2011, you have to manufacture the lower, the mid frame, and the slide. That's where your expenses come in. And they have to be fit and they have to be exacting. Whereas a frame is literally put it in the machine, fucking let it go, and you're done. Either forge them or CNC them. So the difference between that gun and that gun is that that has panels for the grips, like a 1911 does not have a removable grip module. That gun has a removable grip module. That's it. I have Glock 17 hands. Yeah. Do I watch the White Bitches channel? Nope. I gave Stone a Glock once so he can talk trash. Nice. Do you have a picture of the rainbow Glock tattoo on your grinder ad? Nope. It's just a picture of my face sucking a dick. I will say if you can find an old Remington R1, get it. I have an R1 government that probably has 20,000. McManus. Remington R1 Recon right there. That is the Remington R1 Recon. Do you know why the Remington R1 line works? Because fucking para-ordnance, dude. They use para-ordnance tooling. Yeah, that's the Remington R1 Recon. Hell yeah, dude. I'm 100% for them, for you getting anything after para-ordnance died in an R1 line, because all they are is fucking para-ordnance guns. Yep. Brought to you by the Hold Up. This showcase is brought to you by Hold Up. This showcase is brought to you by fucking Home Depot and screws. I have pegboards sitting right there. I put it on Discord asking which way I should put them out, white or brown. But I don't have any of my original pegs. I used to have bags of plastic pegs that I used to hang my guns on. They're all gone. So the wall is a screw build right now. Greatest pistol Remington ever built. You mean greatest pistol Remington ever stole? Everyone make sure to like the like buttons. Rocky, did you fart again? $20, I'll smack my dog with a piece of bread. You got the Remington as the first gun you bought when you got to Nevada probably 16 years ago. That's cool, dude. I'll do it. I'll smack them. I got a tree fitty. Hold on. There you go. I want newcomers to wonder why there's bread on my head. I got tree fitty. Send me tree fitty. I'll smack them with bread for tree fitty. Oh, okay. Rocky, you know, one of the people that's your namesake. So Rocky McManus Jackson Stone, you're making me hit your own namesake. The dog's named after you. By the way, dog penis. Rocky, ready? You want some bread? Can't believe you made me abuse my dog. Here you go. Wait, what the fuck? No, you agreed. Don't move. Wait. There you go. I get ripped off, Lion. You see this shit? You're the one that paid for it before you waited to negotiate. The one at the top is, why doesn't he like it? What? Why doesn't Rocky like being smacked with bread? Rocky loves bread, but it's too many carbs. I can only give him one piece a day. The one up top is a Ruger 1022 Target bull barrel in a Sharps Brothers chassis. He loves these. I'm not going to smack him with this because this is bone. Ruby. Oh, Rocky doesn't like getting smacked with bread. I don't blame him. If somebody smacked me with bread. Worth it. Yeah. He kind of, I wonder if my thing, really? Eat it. It's good for you. Did Remington build the double stack 1911? So Freedom Group acquired Remington in the late 1990s, early 2000s. Then they acquired Para Ordnance in 2012. Mysteriously, in 2012, Remington started producing a double stack 1911. So yes, that is a Remington double stack 1911. That 1022 is threaded barrel. Yes, it is. So, yeah, hold on a second. We'll do this the right way. We'll actually fucking pick you up and turn you around. Ready? Hold on. So that's Rock Island's version of the Para Ordnance. As you can see, double stack. That is the Remington R1 double stack 1911 and 45 million ACPA. And then there's the Gerson. So yes. So that is a double stack 1911 with the Remington name on it. And that is a CZ with a fucking Romeo Sig Pro on it. Also, full-length dust cover. So I like the full-length dust cover. Personally, I think it's a cool look. But I can respect the single slot rail on the Remington. I respect it. It's fine. You know, like my Para Ordnance Black Ops or the SIG both have the half lengths. But yeah, how about that? You like my GP 100? You still got to figure out what you want to get rid of. Yeah, I know. Might be willing to get rid of that. Yes, sir. That is a 357 4-inch. I love that gun. It's a good gun. There's my Chris Finks, which is basically a 2011 P07. Hold on a second. Sorry, the wall's a mess back there. Chris Stinks, 2011. Basically a 2011, but it uses CZ mags. Oh, the GP 100 is like the only revolver that I keep. Hold on a second. What's your opinion on the Hudson H9? It shoots fine. Hold on a second. I'm going back. Is the Remington double stack 1911 BR1 and doesn't take the same mags as Para Ordnance? Yes, because it's Para Ordnance. Para Ordnance and Remington were both owned by Freedom Group. Para Ordnance was killed in 2016 because Remingtons were $400 more than Para Ordnances for the exact same gun. So all Remington R1 double stacks are Para Ordnance guns. What's your opinion on Hudson H9? It was pretty nice. What do you mean got rid of it? I didn't like the way it felt in my hand, so I traded it for money to get the move underway as well as get some more guns. Sold my unfired Hudsons. I like Smith J frames. Smith J frames are nice. Is a Remington a 9mm? No, it's a 45. Bruce, your name keeps changing. Did you sell it with the custom grips? What's your opinion on the Colt 1911 Mark IV? Not really interested in the Colt 1911s. And carrying my Smith J frame a lot. So, Mouse, I did the video on the Wilson, spent an entire night playing with it, and realized I hate the way it feels in my hand. So I sold it to a buddy, stole 2 mags from it, got all of my money back from that gun, and put it towards. I took that and a big check so that I could put that money towards my other guns and the move. So don't worry, it's all coming to you anyways. So I'm gonna do a 1.5 hour video with Drunk Mouse of him shooting all my guns when I drive out there. So has Taurus ever made a solid 1911? Yes, their 1911s aren't terrible. They're just not as good as other companies for the price. You don't like the Wilson Combat? You can shoot mine nice. Isn't Colt the original manufacturer of the M1911? They are the original manufacturer of the 1911. However, under contract, several different companies manufactured 1911s for Colt for the war effort, including Singer, which is extremely rare. There's like less than 500 or something like that. Remington Rand made some, and a couple other companies used to make them. So, John Moses Browning is the original designer of the 1911. Yes. The only reason the Hudson H9 failed is because they announced the aluminum frame before they had finished all the orders for the steel frame. And then they wound up losing all their money, and then they couldn't afford to buy the parts because they used some inferior parts and couldn't afford to fix them. There, you just got a singer. Trust me when I say you don't want one. Yeah. Did Glock ever make a 1911? No. And they never will. Although they did make an AR in Europe. It was ceramic and it could go through any metal detector. Hudson's had a design flaw inherent. That's what killed them and why they had to completely redesign it. If Glock made a polymer 1911, would you want it? No, but did you know Gerson used to make a polymer frame 1911 back in the day? Daniel Defense H9 doesn't feel good to me because it's not a true H9. They moved the recoil spring up. It's not doesn't sit as low. I think some of the problems were like the lockup for the recoil system on the H9 would break. It was an internal problem, and then the front face of the H9 was so thin for where the recoil spring was kept in, so they were just gonna break. I might go swimming tonight. It's getting to be nice out. It's 30 degrees here. I think a video comparing the original H9 to the DD H9 would be good. Yeah, just give me yours and then I'll go borrow another one. I didn't know polymer frame 1911s existed. Yes, the ATI Moxie is a polymer frame 1911. However, it does have a metal insert in it. So it's like treads the line. So if you grind off the polymer, there's a metal skeleton underneath the polymer in the Moxie. Favorite ammunition? If you're talking about self-defense, Hornady, Critical Duty, Critical Defense, and then Federal HST. No, so the polymer 1911s were before Gerson and them started doing the new 2011 stuff. The 2011s killed everything. But the polymer frame 1911s were back in 2019, 2020. Funtucky. I got to shoot my Apollo 11, and man, that thing is super friggin' accurate. The only thing I didn't like about my Apollo 11 was the grip. I hated the grip, which is why I sold it. Aha, metal skeleton. Yeah, so my ATI Moxie, I actually ground off the finger grooves. Ow. So anyways, we're closing up near the end of 2 hours. So anything, have I heard anything from TSOS since they split from SDS? No, because I went with Jared. Jared was my guy. He's the one sending me the Mac guns and stuff. He is SDS. I never spoke directly to TSOS, but I will be talking to a lot of these guys when I go to the NRA show. Will you shoot my 640 PD with the full 357 Magnum loads? Yes. I'm not afraid of heavy loads. I like those. If you held an airsoft gun on live stream, would it turn off? Yes. If you hold anything that's accurately sized, I've heard of people getting their stream shut down because they were holding Nerf guns. I wanted a metal grip for it, but LFA is in 8 to 10 weeks on getting to them. It's an eternity. Well, you know, shoot your gun that you have now and then replace the frame. Also, you can use any 2011 frame. I just didn't want to bother. So I traded a gun for the Apollo, and then I wound up trading the Apollo for my Canik TTI Combat. Almost considered getting a 1911. They had a 1911 with a built-in optic. It was a bit hesitant. Yeah. I have a 4570 revolver. The 357 is laughably easy to handle. Yeah. So you got one of the BFRs? I wouldn't mind shooting one of those. Kaya from Classics Firearms just took over as CEO of TSOS USA. So like I said, I'm going to NRA show in Houston next month. So hopefully I'll meet all those guys. I actually had a bunch of Jimmini Show business cards made up. So I'm going to reach out to all of them. Oh, I would assume so. Oh yeah, 4570 and a handgun? Absolutely. I don't doubt that at all. I'm considering used 1911s from my local pawn shop. Or do you think they're good ones to look out for? So 1911s, you need to just kind of give them a good look over. But yeah, if you can get like a Dan Wesson, Fusion Firearms, Bull Armory, Springfield, those are always good ones. Gerson, TSOS, they're going to be cheaper. And they're usually not bad, especially if you have a newer one within the last 6 years. They're all forged. Most of them are forged. You haven't seen my BFR? No, I have not. You're going to get rid of the TTI? No, I am not. Maybe at some point, but it's not on my list to get rid of. Shot it one-handed for the first round just to say I've done it. Yeah. I would shoot it one-handed just to say I did it, although with my nerve damage, it would probably sting. I hope you have a blast in Houston. Me too, brother. Bring the stickers you made as business cards. That would be funny. I'll put it on the back of the cards and give them to Staccato. What's the difference between a 1911 and a 2011? Very simply, one thing, removable grip frame. A 2011 has a removable grip frame. A 1911 does not. So a 2011 is a slide mid-frame grip. 1911 is a slide in a frame. I feel like I don't need a 2011 since I have a Para 18.9. Honestly, you don't, man. Although if you want to look at a modernized Para ordnance that is from a American-made company, look at the Kimber Warrior double stack, dude. That is literally a Para ordnance clone. Will I shoot it one-handed? Yes. What's your thoughts on the TTI Canik Combat? In my hands, the quality felt very cheap, but I've never shot one. It's not that it's cheap. It's a Canik. Caniks are good guns. The problem is it's a gun that has Terran Tactical's name on it. Number one, I don't care for Terran Tactical. I don't care for Terran Butler. I don't really. You don't have to like everybody. I don't like him. I think his guns are overpriced. So at $1,000, you're buying a $500 gun. It's not a Terran Tactical gun. It's a signature series from Canik. Canik does signature series guns. They should have just called it the Signature Series by Terran Tactical, and it would have been more honest. I'll check it out when the live's over. I'm using my phone. If you drive an hour from Houston, aren't you still in Houston? That's kind of an old joke for Fort Hood, in Killeen, Texas. You can drive 4 hours across Fort Hood and never leave it. I don't need a 2011. I love 1911s. The TTI does feel cheap in my experience. I have a couple buddies that had some shot good and a couple that had major issues. Toss up, I guess. So cheap compared to what? You know, if you want to compare it to some of the other guns, I can see where that comes in. Again, it's a $500 gun that sells for $1,000 bucks. So if it sells at $500 bucks, then it's not cheap. then it doesn't feel cheap because it's at a price point that it deserves to be. But a Canik is a Walther P99 clone built in Turkey. So it's going to have Turkish levels of build. The area in Texas is supposedly really chill. We'll see. You wanted to turn it into the range. Oh, you wanted to turn it into the Sequoia revolver, the big iron? That would have been cool. Big iron, big iron. Have I ever considered going into gunsmithing myself? Not for other people. I don't want to work on your guns. I don't want to build custom guns for people. I've built a couple of custom guns for people. I like to build my custom guns for me. If you saw the tomfuckery I do to my guns to make them as good as I make them, you'd shit yourself. Oh, Bertha. So the things I did to that 2011 to get it to run with a 1 pound 8-ounce trigger and a air rack ability and all that shit, if I did that to somebody else's gun, they might consider it a war crime, although I did the same thing to the Night Stalker. Does the Kimber take the same mags as the Para? Yes, but it also takes Checkmate mags, so standard 2011 mags and Duramags. Joe's built half my guns. I didn't know you customized pistols. Yeah, so the only thing I don't do is stippling because I just never practice, so I leave that to everybody else. But hold on a second. Let me hold my phone. So that gun, I completely disassembled it, sent it to tailors, had them re-blue it because it was normally a two-tone, had my buddy stipple it. I hate fucked the rear main spring housing in it, so I actually had it down to a half-pound trigger, but it wouldn't reset reliably, so I bent it. If you look at the rear spring in there, there's no reason why that gun should run. There is literally no reason that gun should run. That gun should not run the way I hate fucked that spring in there. It's bent 6 different ways, yet it works perfectly. Yes, same mags. At least you didn't take a fucking Dremel to it. No, I took acid to it. So I was trying to use Illuma Black on the frame on that gun, so I put it in a bag with a bottle of Illuma Black and left it for 20 minutes, and I pulled it out after it had corroded like 0.02 of an inch off the frame. By the way, I haven't even started on it. I have an assignment worth half my grade, looks like in 2 hours, so I decided to watch the stream. That's when you do your best work. It's called when you have to. Thoughts on P320? Just bought one. They're fine. Just change out the trigger if you got a curved trigger. There's one right there. I also have an X5 Legion and an AXG. What, are you saying, oh God, to the fact that I acid dipped the frame on my gun to make it even smoother? So I totally forgot that Illuma Black is actually an acid etch. And I put it in the bag, and all I heard was, and the bag got hot, and then I realized what I was doing, so I dunked it in water. And then when we sandblasted it, it's got a looser finish. I'll make a video showing how loose the finish is compared to like my Paras. You aren't bothered by the accusations? No, because accusations in the internet in 2025 and 2026 are all bullshit. Number one, the guns affected are built before 2021. So if you have any gun built after 2021, it's fine. Number two, if you don't buy a basic bitch model with a curved trigger, you're fine. If you make sure that you put your holster somewhere where you're not going to get shit jammed in your trigger, you're fine. What is Illuma Black? It's a acid etch that turns things black. Like the Harrington Arms comp on there, I used Illuma Black on, and it basically burns aluminum and makes it black. Drunk Mouse, I literally collated this all account for the purpose of being on this stream. I wonder how long it would last in the bag now, lol. So those accusations, if you're talking about the ones where I had porn on hard drives, I have a lot of porn on hard drives. It's just normal porn, dude. It's just, normal porn. Make sure your studies tomorrow's problem. Or you can take to some mags as para, but also checkmate. Does a para also accept checkmate? It does, but you can't jam them in there. You have to push them in at a regular pace because you can push them up too far and then they'll slide. Because the bodies on the checkmates are actually longer. Hold on a second. You didn't eat all your treat. So this is out of my Remington. It's a para ordnance pattern though, and you can see that the checkmates are a little bit longer, even though the cuts are in the same place. If you can see, the cuts are in the exact same location on both, even though the checkmates are taller. So you can over insert a checkmate into a para. Your finite on normal pouring and mine is a different, I think. Huh. You should really buy a tank and drive it to McDonald's. FPS Russia did that. I have no reason to buy a tank. I'm not Demo Ranch, dude. I don't have his fucking money. My guns are held up with fucking screws. Although I do have an HK upper, so fuck the pores. Yes, it's an MR556 upper. But it's an upper that costs $2,000. So I didn't pay $2,000 for it. There we go. For no reason. I would love to own a tank, but I don't have the money. It's a nice freaking upper. Yeah, it is. Not worth $2,000. Are you worried about ammo prices? No. Ammo prices just come along with the territory, man. Also, I could just get in contact with all my buddies who own gun stores and get it at cost, which will still be way less than you're paying. The HK piston-driven upper is not worth $2,000. I agree. I don't care if it puts me in generational debt. One day I'm buying a tank. I have no problem letting my relatives and future relatives take over my debt. That's perfectly fine. Why are ammo prices going up? Is it because of Iran? A little bit because of that, but also tariffs on gunpowder and fucking materials used to make primers and casing. Government. But it has a lot more to do with import tariffs and stuff because PMC is Korean. There's many brands that are not American. So you got Federal, which is American, Hornady, which is American. SIG, I think, uses brass from out of the country for their Sig Sauer performance line or whatever. So need to make a collar for the checkmates? No, not necessarily. I just put them in safely, or put them in slowly. You could make a collar though, for sure. Or you can go on to Hinterland, Hinterland, Hinterland Outfitters. They sell para ordnance mags for $20 a piece for the base ones. Ammo prices will probably go back down. Oh, they'll stabilize. I don't know how much down they're going to go down. Do I still have the Ruger American pistol? No, I've traded that off. There's a lot of pistols that were in my collection that were just cheap ones that I bought because they were at our store that I was working at. That was one of them I really didn't give a shit about. Also, I fucked up the slide when I was putting the front sight in it. So, I think I sold it. You only have 10 or 11,000 rounds? Fuck you. Buy a minivan, duct tape a Glock to the roof, and call it a tank. No, buy a Toyota Tacoma, duct tape a Glock to the roof. Ow. I found a random ammo can of 45 laying around in my shop, so that was cool. Also, for some reason, I have a whole bunch of 357 SIG ammo left. I thought I got rid of it all. Yeah, so when I go to Texas, man, I'm probably just gonna rent a storage unit here for 75 bucks, pay for a year, and just not fucking come back. Leave all my shit here. I don't want to move all my shit down there, dude. I'm just gonna bring a couple of my computers, all my guns, and some other stuff. It's a good idea with the storage unit. Yeah, so this place that I use for storage near my place rents a 20 by 12 for $78 a month. Did your shop ever turn a profit? No, sir. It never turned a profit. The first 2 years of operation, I lost $100,000. Wish I didn't bring all this crap from my apartment. I agree. That sucks, man. So, like, I'm not even bringing the desk that's in here. That desk is going to stay in here. There's some cubbies and shit that are in here. I'm taking my dresser, my bed, my couch, my TVs, my tools, and a few other things, and then I'm leaving the rest of the shit in storage. You put your ammo in storage in Arizona a week before you move because movers wouldn't move it. I can understand why they wouldn't. So I'm going to be having like a couple of garage sales. The weather's been shitty, so I'm going to set up my shop. I'm going to do a garage sale. I'm going to sell like my extra cases and shit. I got like apartment washer and dryer and shit that I'm going to sell. Wait, you stopped the shop? I lost the lease. In the United States, your FFL is tied to an address, and when you lose that address, you have to get a change of address. I was thinking about putting it in the shop here, but then Virginia instituted the assault weapons ban, so they can suck my nuts. I'm not staying. Is PSA now overcharging? From what I'm seeing, yeah. I went on their website on the last live stream, and their cheapest gun that they were selling was like $350, and then it jumped to over $400. You got to wait for holiday sales with PSA. Mrs. Mouse thought it would break my buddy Silverado. I mean, ammo is surprisingly heavy. If you ever need to weigh down a safe, fill the bottom of your safe with fucking ammo. We're gonna get you a permanent FFL in Texas. Yeah. You should donate your guns to those who need them. Absolutely, I'll donate them to you. Just pay me for them. I'm already at my max write-off for the year, so no, I'm not donating guns to people. Dude, I had to carry it down a flight of stairs, never again. Dang, I was hoping to buy my first pistol from you. Don't worry, dude. Well, when I get to Texas, I'll reapply and get an FFL there. I'll take care of you. I have a crate of Yugo M67 for the Cold War. Everyone who's seen it gets stretched out. So when I was at Middletown before I left in 2023, we found an entire crate of sardine can 7.62 by 39. Gotta go. Girlfriend is here later, boys. See you, McManus. Yeah, we're about done too because we're past 10 o'clock and I'm an old man who needs to sleep. Set the couch on fire on a live. I think it would terminate the live stream, I think. was lucky enough to at least drive past your store before it closed. That's what I have. It's unopened. Nice, Mouse. Yeah, so we found these sardine cans and we were selling them for like $350, $400 or something like that. Sold them all within a week. All right, so for Friday, I will have the pegboard up. Pegboard is easy to take down. We're only going to have it up for another month or so. But yeah, we're going to have the pegboard up. I will be hoping your shop in Texas becomes a success. I'm always rooting for your brother. I appreciate that, Guile. Is a suppressor even worth the price for just occasional use? No. But if you need it for a specific purpose, coyote hunting, fox hunting, protecting your land from small critters, things like that, then yeah, you can get 22 cans for just a couple of $100. Everything is bigger in Texas. Great, my penis will get normal sized. I bought 2 crates for around 500 beans before Biden sacrificed Russia or sanctioned Russia. Yeah, no, fucking the Russian comm block shit is so expensive now. Texans love them guns. Yep. Mind if I ask you a car question? Go for it, brother. My suppressor is worth it because of freedom. I love my suppressor. It's a good suppressor. Although technically I'm going to have to fill out a Form 5 when I move to Texas. Loaded all my 9mm mags the other day. It was about 600 rounds. It's amazing how fast you can go through ammo, dude. Why don't people talk about how appendix carry is dangerous? Because it's not any more dangerous than any other carry, dude. You just got to carry the right gun and the right pinion. Any opinion on the 2010 to 2015 Camaros in auto or manual? Number one, I would buy one in a manual before I bought an automatic. Number two, I hate the design of them. They're more of a 67 design, which is a stupid looking car. The windows are too small. The interiors are trash. Sorry if you have one. So when I bought my Mustang GT, we had the previous variant of the Challenger with the ugly ass interiors. We had the Camaros, and then we had the Mustangs. And the Mustang was the best of all the 3 at the time. I carry appendix. Glad you're in a better place. See you on Friday. All right, dude. You can do a bonfire on a live. Oh, there you go. Just have it in the pile and then just start the fire. If you have the option to get anything in a manual, that's real driving. Yeah, the problem is the take-up rate for manuals in the United States is less than 7%, which is why so many manufacturers don't do them. Fucking kudos to companies like Toyota and Honda for still making manual transmission cars. It's the only reason I'll give them any credit. Honestly, too, I have gone full motard. I kind of want a new Prius. Looks like a GTA car. My mom still doesn't really drive the car you bought. Yeah, well, you know, but she has it. She has her dream car. That's kind of the fun part. All right, kids. So, like I said, Friday I'll have the pegboard up, which will give me more room to mount guns. I'll push the camera back, turn it sideways so that we have a full screen view, and then this whole wall should be covered in guns. So that'll give me 6 feet by 4 feet. So it'll give me 24 square feet of guns. Yeah. It's funny, I couldn't find my fucking play button because it was sitting in the window the whole time. But yeah, guys, I am out. Rocky is sleeping. I'm going to sleep. My voice is going out. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Everybody, I will talk to you soon. Rocky is already in bed sleeping. That's how tired he is. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. Come back for the next one. And as always, I'll push this button and then I'll